We're going to do some underrated, overrated today, guys. I'm your host, Drew from the Home Studio Hangout. We got Andrew Chapman, Jesse Shirts, Brad Phillips from Studio 101, 25 plus years of experience here. Analog gear, large format studios, Atmos and immersive audio.
Do you need that to make a good song? No, we all said in unison.
Yeah. Generative AI.
Here we go. I'm just going to settle
Buckle
in.
up, baby.
Let's get real close, get some proximity effects.
Welcome back, boys. This is going to be a fun little exercise, I think. We'll get this across everybody's channels. It'll be super fun. We're going to get opinionated.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like therapy.
Bring on the hate comments. I can't wait. Can I respond to the hate comments?
You can from your channel.
I was going to say, can you come onto my channel and respond to some of my comments too?
Great. That's fun.
So we got to the day. I'm your host, Drew from the Home Studio Hangout. We got Andrew Chapman from Andrew Chapman Creative over on YouTube. We got Jesse Shirts from Jesse Shirts Productions and all that kind of stuff that he's been doing over on. He's got his channel and also a website and all that kind of stuff on TikTok and
TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok and Instagram. And we got Brad Phillips from Studio 101, whose place we are using for the studio today.
Welcome.
Thank you, Brad. And we have 25 years of experience, plus years of experience here. We're celebrating in this year 25 officially of Studio 101.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
25 years.
25 years this year, Studio 101. So we got a bunch of different aspects of engineers, producers in the room today. And so we're going to do some underrated, overrated today, guys.
Hell yeah.
This is going to be very, very fun.
Okay.
First one, I want to start out with a, overrated, properly rated.
Okay.
And we get, I got like 10.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go through these, and I want you to kind of explain. We'll go around and kind of discuss once we do this. So underrated, overrated. First one, DAW of Choice.
DAW of Choice?
Yeah.
Oh, overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah, overrated. I mean, can I interject my thought real quick?
No, I want you to.
I mean,
that's what this is. It's a podcast, Brad.
Well, the thing for me is, I started with Pro Tools.
Yeah.
I didn't have Logic. I didn't have any other option.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, my brain works with the way that the workflow happens inside of Pro Tools.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I use Pro Tools. I don't have anything against Logic or whatever else it is. Can you work fast and efficiently in Logic? Have at it. Knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Cubase, knock yourself out. Ableton, knock yourself out. I'm tired of hearing about it, honestly. So
yeah, that's why I was like, overrated for me as well. Jesse, you for a while did the thing that I do, which is work in two different DAWs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a crazy person like this, Andrew.
Sometimes.
I produce in Ableton and I mix in Pro Tools and edit in Pro Tools.
Yeah.
You did Luna for a while.
I was doing Luna for a while, and then I was doing all the production in Ableton and then mixing in Pro Tools.
Yeah. Are you still doing that? Or are you full in Ableton right now?
Ableton because I didn't want to keep paying
You're
the Pro
lazy.
Tools subscription
Yeah, bro,
every month.
That is the thing. The Pro Tools, we were talking about this before, the Pro Tools subscription has me rethinking, like, do I just want to like go full Luna and get rid of the Pro Tools subscription?
It's too late for me, guys.
You're blocked in, and you're on what?
So I'm on Cubase mostly.
Nice.
But it is really, you're one of the only people that will ever say nice as a response to that.
I like Cubase. I think it's cool.
I think Cubase works. I got Cubase because my first like home recording venture was a Presonus FirePod.
Yeah.
And it came with it.
Yes, sir.
And because of that, I got hooked like an addict.
They locked you into the system.
Yeah,
that was the point.
And that is exactly the point. And it was so limited in all of the right ways that made you pay for the upgrade. And once you paid for that upgrade, you were done.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt that the first studio that I worked at also ran Cubase, which is weirdly still the only studio that has ever run Cubase since that I have ever seen.
Yeah. Lee and Josh use Cubase, so you're not alone in that. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. But with that being said, I do also use Pro Tools. If I go to another studio, they are most likely using Pro
That's the
Tools
one
or
thing
Logic.
that Pro Tools has a leg up on is all the commercial studios for the most part.
And exactly it, because you guys are going to hate this. I'm pointing to you people in the cameras. Pro Tools is the industry standard. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why that's important is, what do you want to do with your career?
Mm-hmm.
Because if all you want to do is just make songs at home, then yeah, it's a digital file cabinet.
Yeah,
it's all it is. However, if you do want to go and work at other studios, it is so insanely valuable to be the person that can work through Pro Tools and just fly through with those hotkeys and everything else that makes things run seamlessly and quickly.
I would actually argue that it's really important if you're trying to go to multiple studios and work with a lot of different people for you to be versed in multiple DAWs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would probably stick with
at least Pro
the
Tools,
big 2 or 3.
Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton, maybe a little bit of Cubase.
You could probably skip Cubase, but Pro Tools, Logic, Ableton for
I just
sure.
learned a little bit of Cubase from working with Lee and Josh.
Sure.
So it's like I have had the experience of working with those.
I will say if you're doing film, Cubase and Nuendo,
they're pretty
there's
tight.
a lot of integration there.
I got used to using Luna for a while because I dabbled in it, and I know Jesse dabbled in it for a while. Like he said, he used it for mixing.
Yeah.
I produced vocals for a project in Luna, and so I had to learn it. So it was kind of like
interesting.
It was kind of like I think it's kind of good to be versed in a lot of them, or at least like have touched them before and kind of know how to at least track in all of them on a basic level.
I can use Logic. I would rather slit my wrist than track an entire session in Logic because none of it makes sense for live band tracking. Literally none of it was designed to do live band tracking in Logic. But I come from the old school, analog stuff where I had to know signal chain, I had to patch it all in, and I had to see it in front of me with my hands on the channel strips. And that's what Pro Tools basically gives me to help me know how my workflow is set up.
Yeah.
So
I feel like all the basics though and all the DAWs except FL Studio, it's all kind of the same. Like the layout.
Agreed.
And,
I just talked
even
with
Luna,
I just talked with it. Yeah, Luna honestly feels like a mixture of like Cubase and Pro Tools, to be honest. It's kind of interesting.
Wasn't there a whole thing like don't they have like a tape emulation on the master or something like that?
You can.
And all the channels.
You can.
Too,
Oh, okay. And all the channels.
Yeah.
Does it sound good?
it sounds
Yeah, it's
tapey.
pretty cool. Like,
It does? Okay.
It's also, it does have this one cool thing that you can do the summing mixer thing in it, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Depending on what you're doing, it can be super useful.
I didn't feel like I was getting that much out of it though, and I'm like, it's just easier to do it all in one hour. So that's why I stopped.
Agreed.
Is it still free? Like I know it was free for a while.
There's an upgrade now.
You
There's
have
a
to-
paid upgrade.
You have to pay for the summing extension. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But the basic one is free.
I'll try it. Yeah,
It's nice.
I want to try it. I'm extremely critical of like tape emulation. Like God, I love tape. But yeah,
It's cool.
Mm.
I would actually think it might be a cool mastering DAW.
Mm.
Because it's just
Interesting.
some of the extra like analog stuff that it gives you access to. It might be like, especially if the mix might feel really stale or digital in a way.
Sure.
And they want it to feel more analog, and like might be a way to kind of implement some of that stuff into it. Speaking of which, underrated, overrated, analog gear.
Underrated.
Underrated.
I'm probably underrated.
I'm underrated.
I would say underrated.
Underrated
or,
with footnotes.
I would say properly rated.
I was going to say either underrated or properly
I would
rated.
say properly rated.
Okay.
I would say
For
that
tracking.
For
it's
tracking,
the best.
Mixing stage, basically unusable for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe mastering
Sure.
helpful, but I don't do that. So I know a lot of mastering engineers. That's pretty much all they use is like a lot of analog gear. But I'm not a mastering engineer.
Sure.
So that's my like 2 cents on it. Like properly rated. What makes you guys feel underrated about it?
I think too many people are relying on the UAD emulations and all the other stuff as to give you the sound when, there's a lot of gear that's, I don't want to say affordable, but I mean attainable, that you could have, especially for tracking a vocal and a Neve pre or a whatever pre that you like to track a vocal with. I mean, grab that and do that instead. Of relying on the plugin.
Especially when tracking, it's extremely underrated because of exactly what you're talking about. Tracking into a good microphone that goes into a good preamp is something that like we should plug-in emulations they emulate, but they're not quite there yet, in my opinion. But that's just me.
No. I feel
You can make great sounds with just plugins, but I do love hardware for tracking, like especially using good preamps. It just goes so far. And then for mixing, I still actually love using colorful outboard stuff for the mixing process, like tube compressors, FET compressors, even the right
Sending
EQ.
out and back in. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as your like the center of your rig can handle it. Like if you've got like a good antelope interface, like you've got here, you know, even some of the other like higher end audience stuff can handle it too. But like if your conversion is good and it can handle it, could be worth it to the right person. But it is also, that's an expensive rabbit hole. So, you know.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I've never mixed with analog gear, so I don't really know
That's
the difference.
But more of the tracking.
With tracking though, it's like, I mean, your mix is only going to be as good as the source material, and like,
boom.
Try to get the source material as good.
If like the drums already sound done because you tracked them right through the right preamps and mics,
maybe,
it's like
maybe this is just me being like very like myself, but I feel it's properly rated because people over-index on gear.
Yeah.
They tend to over-index on analog gear rather
You
than
certainly can.
I think all of the people in my circles are in the agreement of get a really good analog chain as your front end and then mix in post. Maybe you use a couple things, but primarily digitally.
Yeah.
But then so many people hear that and they're like, I'm going to be the best singer in the world because I got a C800 and a 1073.
Yeah. That's always such a messy conversation.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I'm like properly rated, because people majorly over-index on it. It's definitely not overrated.
I always think about it because it's such a nuanced topic.
Yeah.
We have to dive into the nuance a little bit, which is like, I think about it from two perspectives. I think about it from that perspective of the guy who's hears people mostly online selling him really expensive shit he doesn't need.
Yeah.
Right? Here is the Neve 1073, the legendary preamp made by Rupert Neve in the 1970s, blah, 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 blah. It will make your vocals sound thick and authoritative and saturated. And sure, it's true. Do you need that to make a good song? No, we all said in unison. However, and I say this all the time too, you can make a hit song through gear that doesn't sound good, because hit songs don't have to sound good. Don't conflate two different issues. Keep that in mind. It's important to remind ourselves, but it is not the golden truth of everything that is audio.
Well, there's more important stuff too, like with vocals, room treatment, mic placement is going to be more important.
Correct mic choice for vocal.
That too.
Correct mic choice
is going to be better. Is going to be more important than like buying an expensive 1073 or whatever.
Yeah, because a U67 and a U87 and a Sony might not work for your vocal. You might need an SM7, or, you know what I mean?
Whatever it is.
And a CO1B might not work for the right thing, but you actually need, a 76 or a 2A or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. All of this is very true. And then I also think about this other kid. And this kid was me at one point in time, which is I was like, like everyone's like, okay, it's all technique. It's not gear. It's not gear. It's not gear. And I'm like, well, I'm pointing my Rode NT1A at the vocal. And I know I'm pointing it at the vocal the right way. And it's in a decent room. Why doesn't it sound as good?
Yeah.
And for those kids that are running and just bashing up against that same wall over and over again, oh my God, gear will make a difference. However, it's not required.
Like a point of diminishing return.
Oh my God. Yeah. And with that being said, there's no ethical stance to take. Everybody's got their own needs and budgets and everything else. It's individualized highly. So it's messy.
No, I love that.
The point is, everybody go buy real expensive gear.
Brad agrees.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brad did that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Spent way too much money on a 16 channel.
Sure.
Well, that was
way too much money. It was actually a smart decision.
That was kind of to Jesse's point, though, is the fact that we could track drums and I can send them to Jesse and he tweaks them a little bit and he doesn't really have to
It's like that Private Violet record that we did. Like everything, the first one, everything like came to me after the tracking process. And when I went to mix it, I was like, well.
Yeah, it's like you pull up the faders and you're like, we are so close.
You can't polish a turd either. So
it's
like
if
it sounds great from the
it's the nuance, the two sides of it. Yeah. Oh, what a dance!
Amazing
joy.
Okay, underrated, overrated, room treatment.
Maybe underrated
or properly rated.
I'm going to call it properly rated.
I think it's properly, but people don't pay attention to the fact that you need to.
I think it is.
In the pro community, it's properly rated, but
I think the pro community is properly rated. In the YouTuber thing, it's overrated a little bit, and in the newbie community, it is underrated.
Oh, here's the funny thing that I've seen in the newbie community is that everybody is trying to create a dead room anechoic chamber in their bedroom, and I'm just like, stop it!
What are we doing here?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Like, I think that room treatment serves a purpose, and the most important thing you can do is listen to your room and then make the decision of how to treat it and where, because most rooms will benefit from room treatment. We don't have acoustic designers coming in and designing your bedroom, most likely. Unless you're, I don't even know of an exception to that rule.
Sure.
So you could probably benefit from some sort of room treatment. But I also think that some people overvalue it, and they're like, if you hear an echo of anything, or, if there is any square inch of your wall that is not covered in a minimum of 6 inches of Owens Corning, and it needs to be wrapped with this certain type of fabric. And it's like, for those guys, I'm just like, you must be fun at parties.
Yeah.
Well, those people never make good music though. The people that nerd out about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
get them, Jesse.
Or they don't post any music. It's like, what are you even doing this for?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say there's literal basic physics of sound principles that you need to take into account.
No, for sure.
If you have your mix room set up and your left speaker is blowing right at a brick wall, and your right speaker is a completely padded 6-inch, Owens Corning wall, you're going to have some reflection problems, right? I mean, but that's just simple, basic physics of sound.
How come my right channel is so bass heavy?
Yeah, so
crazy.
I don't know. I'm kind of a minimalist in the fact of take a look at the basic principles of things. Don't super overanalyze it, but I mean, you need to take into account what is, the materials in your room, the shape of your room, and how to compensate for, standing waves and all those kind of things.
So I wanted to bring up VSX in this conversation.
Oh no.
So I told you we have differing opinions on this.
Listen, any conversation that starts with "oh no," I'm immediately interested.
So I want to bring up VSX in this conversation of potentially negating room treatment altogether. Jesse, I know me and you have both used it to pretty substantial things.
Yeah, I basically only mix.
Yeah. And
with
you
VSX.
have, and your song, and a lot of your songs have done like millions of streams.
And there's sonic,
millions, but
and
some of the Surlock stuff has for sure.
Yeah,
they're sonically completely on point too. Like you can pull up Jesse's mixes and listen. They are on point.
Well, when I started using them, my mixes started to translate.
Yeah, that too.
In the car and on the phone speaker and
more. You got to a final mix
way quicker,
way faster.
Yeah.
This is interesting to him because he's never used them.
I haven't. I've been very curious.
So Brad has recently tried to use them, and Brad, give us your.
I have a hybrid answer to this question. I bought the VSX headphones and I have the software. My brain and ears cannot translate those rooms. Like it wigs me out.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense. I've tried all the rooms, I've tried all the things, and it doesn't make sense to my brain for some reason. These guys have locked in and are like, oh, this is amazing.
I think the key for me was like when I first got them, listening to a bunch of songs that I liked a lot or that I knew really good. And then like always referencing when I'm mixing.
Yeah.
But
a lot of references.
For 15 years, I've sat in front of a couple of barefoot monitors that I know up and down, left and right, exactly what's supposed to sound like sitting in front of the speakers.
Right.
So I think there's a thing to where like I don't know, it doesn't translate in my mind when I open up that VSX software. It's like weird, super weird to me, super roomy and weird. And I can't figure it out. But this is the hybrid part of it. If I take those VSX headphones, plug them into my laptop, and I mix somewhere else, not in my control room.
No software,
I get virtually the same result as if I was sitting in front of my barefoots.
I don't know. Brad's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And you can ask these guys. I've sent them the ABs just so I didn't think I was crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The VSX headphones are incredible also.
Yeah, the headphones themselves, they're amazing.
Just the headphones.
They're super comfortable too.
Yeah, they're kind of flat and they're not hyped kind of on one end or the other.
Are they closed back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's my weird hybrid answer
Which
to that
is
question.
weird why he got the same mix.
That's when that's why I was asking a question. Yeah, that's interesting.
They did,
closed back
I think, just come out with the open back one.
They did come out with the open back ones.
Yeah, there is a new model of them.
And they are supposed to be a little better.
I think they're ribbons too, like higher end ones.
But
inside the cups.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's my weird answer to that. And everybody out there listening to this is probably going to say that I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
I'll be glad to send you the AB files as well. So.
the great news is that it sounds like we all have different ears.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, because otherwise we would make the same
What
music.
is cool though about the updates to their software is they have like a test. I don't know if you've done this.
Yeah,
yet,
I have. Yeah,
where it measures like you select the frequencies and stuff to where like it's supposed to measure your ears. So it's more accurate to your
It basically does like a minor auditory exam on your ears.
Interesting.
To give the shapes of everything your proclivities out the gate.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was talking with a plugin developer that's it's called Here's Perfection, and they were talking about how they like came up with that idea, and they've been doing it for a couple of years, and they were the first to do it. So it sounds like Slate is kind of knocking on that door.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty cool.
No, it is actually really sick. I just wanted to bring that up in that conversation because that made a lot of sense. All right, underrated, overrated. This is gonna hit close to home for Brad. Large format studios. Underrated, overrated, properly rated.
Man. From my opinion, they're properly rated because there is it depends on which, another hybrid answer, I guess. But there are multi-million-dollar studios that are completely useless to a lot of people. There are also some hole-in-the-wall places I've been before that are putting out bangers.
Yep.
And I mean, I could name them for you, but I'm not going to do that right now. But man, it's all about, as far as the commercial studio or whatever studio you're talking about, to me, it's all about who's running it, how do you treat people, how good are your ears, how are you churning out the product that the customer asks for? Do you treat them well?
Yeah.
Do you go over and above and beyond for what they need? Do you provide for their needs? Like, it doesn't matter if you have a Behringer and a Rode NT1, and that's all it is. Did you provide the exact thing that the customer was looking for, and they're super pumped? Like, what, I don't know.
I have a hot take, so I'm going to go last. So which one of you guys? Properly rated, underrated, overrated?
I'm still developing my opinion
commercial
here.
studios, long format, large format studios, like what we do here, or like GAT3 or some places like that.
Oh, okay.
Properly rated, I guess. I mean, depends on the artist and what they need too, because like some artists prefer to just record at home, like. But I mean, I guess all of the major artists and like best music is usually coming out of bigger commercial studios. Even today, I mean, all the major label stuff, like, I mean, it depends too on the genre, I guess, but
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Jeez, it's one of those.
This
things.
is a good one. I feel like this is a good one
because you could give a hot take, but it's not really like. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The reality is this: like, I believe in studios in general. I think those are underrated because I think there are far too many people that are trying to produce, record, mix and master, and all their stuff themselves, and unfortunately, their music, which could be amazing, might fall just a little bit flat, but at the same time, I love the DIY. I love the spirit that goes into it. I grew up with punk rock bands and stuff like that. So it's like, I get it, but I think the value of a good engineer and a good producer is insanely underrated. The value of a good sounding room with tools that sound really good, massively underrated. The price of a commercial studio like in Los Angeles or something like that, overrated.
Agreed.
It's going to be too much for your project. You could come down here to South Carolina and record in this room for a fraction of the cost and get a sound that, I mean, this room might not sound like Capitol Studios or something like that, but you are going to get a fantastic sound.
We've also competed against some of those studios in like on the same record.
Yeah.
And some of those,
Right.
like our tracks have been on the same cut here, have been on the same album as a lot of in like your Big Machine label studios,
Sure.
Dark or Black, whatever, Bird, whatever studios,
Yeah.
and
I think
all those.
another thing about it too is like certain things will happen in a commercial studio, like in a session that you wouldn't otherwise get, like on a band tracking day or whatever, when all the guys are in here and we're laughing
Goofing.
and like the way everything happens in the recording. Like if everything was an overdub, it would have turned out different. It wouldn't be the same.
If you just pass it
record.
around as overdubs,
It wouldn't be the same thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I used to
100%.
think it was in the properly rated category, and then like the ones that were gonna die were gonna die, and then the ones that were gonna live were gonna live. I think it is underrated.
Okay.
For the reason of, I think that a lot of people who are DIYing could choose to take one song to a large format or commercial studio and use that money of doing a song to learn a lot and take all of that and try gear that they don't have access to and try things that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
Yes.
And then take some of that information back, use some of that information themselves and become better engineers or producers on their own.
Oh my God.
I don't disagree with that.
Not at
Unless
all.
you get to one of these big commercial studios, which I have witnessed with my own eyes, that you walk in and they assign you some engineer for the day.
Sure.
And
Turn and
he's
burn.
a total just incompetent whatever. And that is incredibly disappointing to me. And I've seen it with my own eyes, or I wouldn't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Sure. But you can go to some of these places and you just pick up whatever engineer is on the staff that day. And that guy's not very good. And then you just have ruined your whole like large format experience.
Sure.
I feel like medium studios are better, like this place, because it's consistent every time as far as like who you're working with, but it's still a larger studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say if you don't need like a large room, like scale down, go to a small.
Yeah, that's
studio.
another thing. Yeah, because like you don't. I mean, I've been on sessions at Ocean Way in Nashville, and
Gigantic.
well, you've been there as well, and it's a gigantic church auditorium.
Yeah.
It's like if you're tracking a 3-piece punk band, it's like, do you really need that room?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a cool,
It's a vibe.
Maybe that's the new thing. That's the new
It is a
church punk.
It is a cool hang. That place is amazing.
It
It is a cool hang.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, if you have a label budget or you have a huge donor and you're just going to go spend the money to have the experience.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm jealous. That sounds fun.
I know. Well, there's also the opportunity, and this is actually a thing that I don't think people realize, is that they come in here to track. We do this all the time, actually. They come in here to track their song. They meet the guys. They meet us. We like their music. Everybody likes their music. They get connected to other artists and other people just by proxy of like building the community in their space. And I feel like that is a majorly underrated part of the studio experience.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be specifically to us in particular, because we are like more tight knit a little bit here. We use the same like 12 people for 12 to 20 people for everything. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like that aspect is actually massively
Well, even
underrated.
if you're working from home and recording all of your stuff, there's like a thing to me to where send it to one of these guys to mix and let them take it to a whole nother level for you, or sit in during the mix. If you're allowed to sit in during the mix, take that info and then, take a shot at mixing it the next time. But I mean, we are here and I have years of experience doing this so that I can help you take that next step or do whatever it is, And I mean, I understand there's budgets and there's, costs and all the things, but like we are here. The reason that we exist is to help artists who are working on their own music, whatever facet that might be.
Yep. Love that.
It's something that you said that I don't want to just blow by because I think it's some of the best advice that I've heard in weeks, which is if you are searching for the right microphone for yourself, go to a studio that has a bunch of different microphones that you can shoot out on your voice. A couple hours. It will not take long, and you will get way more value from that than you will from buying and returning and exchanging and selling and buying and selling all of the microphones in a budget.
And the likelihood is that you can try all of those with multiple different preamp options, multiple different compressor options, especially if we're looking at a studio either like us or larger than us.
Right.
They have a bunch of different variables that you can try.
Absolutely.
And you can literally just get a Pro Tools session of doing speaking tests and singing tests for each of those different varying options. Take that session home, check it out.
Especially if your budget is on the higher end. Like if you're looking at dropping like a couple grand, like $5 to $7 grand on like a mic and preamp,
it's super worth it.
Like vocal chain option, like save yourself the time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I got a testy one for everyone here, and this is a two-parter.
All right.
If you're enjoying this podcast episode, you might like my newsletter, The Music Maker's Handbook. In this newsletter, I dissect everything from books, podcasts, YouTube videos, to bring you insights from people across different creative landscapes. It's also a great way to keep up with me, the Home Studio Hangout podcast, and I'm very excited to be showcasing people from the community's projects as well. You can go to the link in the description or go to musicbydrew.com, my website, and sign up there. Now let's get back to the episode.
So we're going to talk about AI. But we're going to talk about it in two different, we're going to talk about it in two different things.
Okay.
Underrated, overrated. Let's start generative AI.
Oh, overrated.
Like you're talking about like Chat GPT?
So no, generative meaning like
Suno or
I would like to
Suno,
prompt
prompting
a
So
picture
art.
of
Suno.
a dolphin that's also half unicorn.
or like a Suno thing,
just
or
music or
whatever.
any generative AI.
That's why I
Any
asked.
generative AI, but I mean, we primarily work in the music space, so it could just be music for you guys if you want to. Personally, overrated,
I think overrated, and I think it's
overhyped as well.
Oh, right now it's overhyped. I think it's generally overrated.
Yep.
I'll give more thoughts in a minute.
I want to say overrated, but the hard thing is like some artists use it to get their ideas out where they otherwise wouldn't. I mean, I don't really like it personally, but I can also see how like it can be helpful for people. And some of the image stuff too can be helpful. Like if you need to just make an
idea to send
logo
to somebody
or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't like it personally, but I could see how it can be helpful
Brad?
for some people.
I'm gonna be controversial and say properly rated because I think the AI access has been available long enough now to where even the general public that wants to do a Chat GPT photo or whatever can go in and type a prompt and have a photo generated. And I mean, that's pretty freaking cool, guys. That's pretty awesome.
From a technological aspect,
that you
it is
can
very
do that,
cool.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, without stealing any copyrights or whatever trademark, you know. I mean, I don't want people to do that. But I mean, I'm a technology dude. Like, I love the fact that we have all of this stuff at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as that goes, I mean, okay, can I equate it to when I was in Nashville, 95 to 99, auto-tune became available during that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone freaked out, just like they're freaking out right now about AI to a different extent, obviously. We're going to fake vocals and everybody's going to be, you know, nobody can sing. We're just going to fix it all. Well, yeah, that happened. That happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is super helpful tool. And I think the correct word that Jesse already used is a tool.
Yeah.
How are you using the tool to get to the end result that you're looking for?
We're going to talk some more about the tool aspect of it in a second. But this is, on the generative side.
But like, man, it is crazy amazing what you can do with a little prompt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just like super concerning what you can do.
Yeah, it is very concerning.
Prompt. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Andrew has a lot of thoughts.
Too many. That, like, I'm like, my thoughts are swirling. But okay, I think everything that's said here is correct.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like, yes, it's a tool. It can be useful. I'm not ever going to argue that. Right now, I kind of feel, and I'm going to use video generative AI to kind of underline the point, and we can kind of circle back around. But it's like, oh God, who did I hear say something like this? But they were saying, like, right now, you can prompt a visual, realistic, you know, image or video of a dolphin that turns into a unicorn and it flies out into space. And it's like, oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And like
devoid of meaning. Yeah.
Kind of. And it's it's not a story. Like the hardest part is still you have to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in that sense, it is not going to take over that part for you.
Agreed.
And when you read stories that are generated by AI, oh my God,
They're bad.
suck.
They're very bad.
That's the part that sucks right now.
Yeah.
And when I think about songwriting, and not that I'm any sort of amazing songwriter, but like I have written songs and I understand that like a good song, I can recognize a good song and it's something that makes you feel something, whether you wanted to or not, or it tells you a story or just expands your viewpoint or it gives you a different perspective or whatever it is. And with AI, I think that that is going to be the hardest part of everything. And like I've read the lyrics that's created by AI and I got to say most of them really suck.
Yeah.
And then I hear people like, oh, well, you know what? I prompted this genre of this thing, or I turned this text message thread into a song.
Oh,
and
those
it's
are
like
fantastic TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Text my husband sent me.
Exactly.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
Those
And
are
that's
amazing.
great.
Amazing. For entertainment.
For entertainment purposes only, and like all that. But it's like when it comes to making art, making something meaningful, like it's like the lyrics that are made by AI are shrouded in so much metaphor that nothing means anything. And it's like my tears fall like raindrops on the hot pavement of a whatever. What? Gross. It's like worse than like the worst lyrics that you've ever heard. And then I also see people that create AI music. They want to die for their AI music.
They do. We know some of them, don't we, Brad?
Maybe.
They have created in their mind as good as a top 10 song. And they are convinced of this. And here's the thing. I want to look all of them directly in the eye and say, maybe, really, probably not. In like 99.999% of the cases.
Yeah.
And also, if that's what you're treating music as, that's a lottery ticket. That's not art. That's you trying to cheat the system. Yeah.
But what does it say about the consumer, though?
What it says about the consumer is, I think that there's more thoughts on this.
I mean,
well, that says the consumer's lazy.
Well, I don't know anyone that listens to AI music though.
I do.
Yeah.
And
like I actually do. Like,
yes.
And they didn't know, but they don't know
They
it.
don't know.
And they think that it's amazing.
Some don't know it. Some think it's amazing. Sure, that's rare. I will say that. The people that I've noticed that will consume AI music and they'll even say things, I've seen this in my comment section a lot because I made one video on AI and oh my God. These people
Ride or dies, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's my most disliked video. It's
Let's
crazy.
go.
Yeah. It's crazy. But anyways, they will say things like, I only listen to the music that I prompt. And I think to myself, wow, you don't like music, do you?
No.
Because music is there to expand your viewpoint. Like I am a fan of music before a producer of music. And I think about my favorite records that I grew up listening to and why they are my favorites. And they told stories and they gave imagery and they connected with me in ways like perspective.
Gave you new viewpoints, gave you different insights. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like as a 13-year-old white kid in Dallas listening to hip hop, like having those viewpoints, you know?
Well, it's not like this industry needed anything else to continue the devaluation of the product.
Yeah, we already had that. We were doing that to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, like Apple Music came along and both revolutionized and destroyed the royalties for everyone involved. All at the same time. And then now you got the AI thing coming in and we're like, well, here we go. Just let your computer generate the favorite music that you want to listen to.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to settle
Buckle
in.
up, baby.
Let's get real close, get some proximity effects. Okay. So there's this other element to it as well, which is somebody said this and it made me mad when I heard it, but I agreed completely. Napster destroyed the music business. Spotify saved it. Let that settle. Let that feel your feelings. Everybody out there in the internet land, feel your feelings. All right.
Because at least we're making something rather than
zero
on Napster. Yeah.
Well, exactly. And then it's also define what the music industry is. Because if your definition of music industry is the ability for major labels to essentially continue to do what they are doing, that's absolutely correct. Did it mean that artists were all of a sudden making money? No.
Artists made way less money.
Artists made way less money.
Can I one up you?
Please.
So is there, oh man, I really don't want to say it out loud.
You should do it.
Is there too many seats at the table? People who create ridiculously terrible music have the same chance to release their music to the world as the best artists and singers and songwriters in the world.
So
everyone has the same seat at the table.
Do you think that DistroKid is a problem?
In a sense, yes.
Like those kind of...
But it started with CD
Baby.
I'm saying
those kind of music distribution platforms.
Like, I think that...
Do you think it's an issue? Like, it has caused an accidental trickle effect issue?
I think partially, at least. Yeah. Like, I'm willing to say, to answer your question directly, yes.
It's a two-edged sword, though.
It is.
Like,
I
most
agree.
of the work that I do, like,
are those
actually
people?
90% of it is not label work. It's not, you know what I mean? So
not,
it's like a double-edged sword.
Which is amazing. The independent artists have the access to release and keep the funds to their own music. That's
and there
incredible.
has been a bunch of artists who probably wouldn't have had a chance at all without
Nick D and Connor Price being a couple of those.
Yeah,
they would have.
Any
They
of
would
these guys that
They
just
would
put
have
their stuff out.
Forrest Frank. They would have never had any opportunity because they wouldn't have gotten signed. They wouldn't have done the road work that would have been needed at that point because they couldn't. They had families. They had jobs. Like they couldn't do the road life long enough for a label to actually pick them up.
And so I also want to draw a line in the sand because I feel like there's a threshold of a lot of gray area until it gets to the black and white part. For me, which is the gray area is the DIY scene.
Mm-hmm.
And the DIY scene, I love and respect dearly. My roots are in punk and emo and metal and all of that kind of stuff. All of the DIY stuff, I love dearly with my heart. And I still love the sound of like a shitty 45 of something that was recorded on like a Tascam 4 or 8 track.
In somebody's
like,
grandma basement.
Oh my God. And they screamed into that microphone because they had something to say.
Yeah.
I love that.
They felt
so
that
much.
emotion. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that is a necessary music that needs to be out there. And there should be a seat at the table for those guys.
Absolutely.
The people that are out there making like trying to treat the music business like a lottery ticket, like I was saying, and they're just trying to generate something that sounds like top 40, and they've created something that also shares their exact own, viewpoint and doesn't challenge them whatsoever. And it's like no, there's not enough seats
to
at
me.
the table
It's like
for that.
the AI generated junk that's coming out that's taking an opportunity away from an artist who's worked their butt off, and then Billboard has the like what is it? What's the chart called now? Is it digital music or something? I mean, there was like a #1 country
like sound
thing
scan,
that came out,
something like that. Yeah.
But there's like this Billboard digital chart now that there's like a song that was created on AI that a couple of people that I know were cranking it in the truck, like, I love this song. And they had no idea that it just somebody's computer generated it, with 2 prompts.
I got a hot take. I think it's a good thing
Jesse.
that Spotify has the new rule where if your song has under 1,000 streams, you don't get paid
paid
off it. Because any serious artist is going to get their song over 1,000 streams.
That was
but
my
these
next.
AI people that are just spamming Spotify that aren't getting any over 1,000 streams, they're not taking any of the money from it.
That was part B. That was part B to what I said earlier is, is there any room for some kind of standards to be met when you're an independent releasing a song that I don't even know where to begin with that thought process. Like, like Apple, like Apple has all the Dolby stuff now.
So because we
And
do that stuff for the Apple Music Dolby immersive audio stuff, like they have a crazy amount of guidelines that you have to abide by in order to get your stuff up there.
You have to meet the standards or your song doesn't get posted on the platform. So like, is that even viable, or are we just squashing everybody's creativity at that point? I don't know. I'm kind of torn.
It's interesting. There's also a lot of people that'll make the argument that like, oh, well, what about disabled people that can't play an instrument? Should they not be able to make music? And it's like, that's complex.
It's also kind of not the conversation though.
Yeah, exactly. That's a different subject.
There's also places like Bandcamp do exist.
Yeah.
Which is like the DIY aspect.
Yep.
It's like, I kind of agree with Jesse on the Spotify thing, because anybody that's under 1,000 listeners, sell it on Bandcamp. You shouldn't be trying to put it on Spotify.
I feel like
you
that same point you made, and no offense to any disabled people, but I can't play basketball, so I can't, I'm not going to play in the NBA. Like,
it's the same thing.
The same.
Oh, I
Like,
say
it's the same
as
thing.
someone
you know what
with a disability, my hands do not work the same that they did when I was 20.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot play guitar the same way.
Yeah.
But I also know that if my arms were sawed off, I'd use my nose to hit some keys on a keyboard. I would make music.
Yeah, something would happen.
I think a musician feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so for anybody that's relying on AI to create music, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not there.
So on the other side of that, so not generative, but assistive AI.
Underrated.
Underrated, overrated?
I'll say under.
I say underrated.
For like mixing, for example, or
I'm
like
talking
any-
like Claude co-work type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I
I would
think
say it's
it's
properly rated in the like professional communities because everyone's.
so
using
I
it.
think that the businesses are trying to make it usable, but they're making bad products. Right now we have a ton of very bad products, but the idea is underrated. So I think the use cases that will work really, really well are going to be the ones that we create ourselves.
Yeah.
Not the ones that big companies try to force us to use.
You're talking about creating niche needs for the audio community, maybe? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like kind of what we talked about with Justin. Like, so we have a friend of ours who's very big in the assistive AI Claude co-work stuff. And he has a dream that we want to help him with of helping people and businesses and producers and other that create assistants using things like Claude co-work to help their business function better because they don't have thousands of dollars to hire an assistant.
Right.
Yeah.
And things like that.
I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah. I think that's underrated. I think that idea is underrated.
I think that's underrated. And we also just have to, there's like, God, we just need to start working on, we need to seriously consider like regulations because we also need to think about the other side of it, which is the impact on the job markets.
Agreed.
Taking away.
I don't disagree with any of that either.
No, for sure.
I think
it's an important footnote.
I think that it is I think what we're talking about right now is an inevitability.
Yep.
I think the generative stuff will probably die off and the assistive stuff will be the stuff that stays.
Yeah.
Personally.
I'm just so glad that we've got so many young people in Washington that can really determine what's happening with AI and make good choices for all of us.
Yeah, this goes back to the
I love that.
Well, this goes directly back to the Spotify Apple Music conversation that we just had, and the fact that there's barely any regulations on how much artists get paid for streaming royalties and download royalties. Like it's insanity that Spotify can charge whatever they charge per month.
It is,
and then pay out 0.003
I also want to shout out
every
Ross
platform's
Golan.
different too, like the amount.
There's no standardized.
I want to shout out Ross Golan for going to bat for the writers community also in this whole thing because he's very much like going to bat for like these people getting paid their dues and royalties and getting like all that stuff in that whole writing world in LA and Nashville. He's doing the work out there. So like shout out him for doing that stuff.
Because you have to think about the record sale boom in the 90s. You had to go buy a physical copy. And if I had track 12, which was just an album cut that was never going to be on the radio, I mean, I was going to make bank off of a record that sold 1 million copies.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get my cut. Now an album track is completely worthless.
Except in one place. You know where it's not worthless?
I don't know.
I can tell you one genre it's not worthless.
One genre. Interesting.
No idea.
K-pop music.
Interesting.
Because K-pop, people that listen to K-pop music listen to every song.
Wow.
Interesting.
It is the only place where like getting a B-side, it can actually get you paid pretty well.
In general,
but
that
is a very
useless.
niche.
Yeah.
If you're track 32 on a Morgan Wallen track, I mean, you might, I don't know how much you're going to make, but you're still not going to make what it was at one point with physical sales of 1 million copies.
Sure.
So
that almost makes you think, is it even worth chasing all these big opportunities?
Yeah.
Like you work so hard to get a Morgan Wallen cut and then like, what do you get out of it? Like,
it's a wild thing to me.
But yes, I'm glad we generally all agree on the assistive AI versus because I feel like there's starting to be a nice clear delineation between whereas before it was me personally, I was like, I think AI is kind of cool, and then the generative stuff started like being prominent, and I was like, all AI sucks. And now I'm kind of at a more balanced take of like, not all AI is the same. It is not all the same use cases. Like we have the generative stuff and the assistive stuff are starting to kind of separate into two totally different places now, which I think is pretty cool. On the next thing, let's go for your lane a little bit more.
Okay.
Underrated, overrated content.
Oh, underrated completely.
Underrated.
Yeah, underrated.
Underrated. Let's give some whys now.
Content is the new way of like connecting with people in a lot of ways. Like when I first started posting on TikTok, I'm here in this room right now talking to you gentlemen because I made TikTok videos about weird audio nerdy stuff.
And we connected over it.
Connected over it.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I'm in this room right now.
Yep.
That is also the way that I connected with some of the other people in the industry. Like I told my students this when I was teaching, which is like, if you make TikToks, people that you would never expect to be sitting in their studios swiping through TikTok will see your face.
Mm-hmm.
It is the new way of introducing yourself at
You're
event.
starting to teach this over at you were starting to teach this over at the school.
At MediaTek. So I was the
MediaTek.
audio engineering instructor for like their program. And then I'm actually building up like a content related program for them right now.
That's awesome.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. And I know it's changed the way you do a lot of things. That's kind of the way you started doing everything.
Well, I mean, for the past like 2 or 3 years now, all my clients have come from TikTok.
That's crazy to think.
Pretty much
that's a
completely.
crazy stat for you, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
And
wild.
like none of my videos get over like 1,000 views.
That's wild again.
Like it's the best platform for business right now.
Yeah.
Because you can be super niche and find the exact right people and
that and Instagram.
Yeah.
And Jesse has a really interesting thing I want to come back to, the other type thing. But Brad has recently forayed into content in the last, 2 years, really?
Yeah, as far as like short form and post and all that kind of thing.
Doing the podcast stuff.
But probably 11 years ago, we had an idea to start live streaming our sessions in, like I set up cameras and we turned them on while we were tracking and streamed it to Facebook only.
Sure.
And you want to know what the ROI on that was?
What?
Like 1,000%. Because while we would be streaming a session, I would be getting direct messages to ask what our prices were, when we were available, and how to set up a session. And I would literally book something basically every time we went live. I would book something.
So he's having a session and probably books 1 to 3 sessions during that session.
And
that's amazing.
But it's super cool, right?
But it's also exactly what you said. You're putting on display who you are, what you do, what you sound like in front of, you're just we just put it all out there in front of everybody. We're like, this is what we do. This is who we are. This is how this works.
It also proves that you're good.
I mean, you sort of sell yourself like immediately when you open up that process for people to watch as it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the things that we did. I mean, kind of a while back, but
yeah. And then you started doing the podcast stuff and doing
the
like some of the short form
and,
stuff
and all that stuff is sort of semi new to me. Where like, I'm not super comfortable like with Jesse and some of you guys and plopping the camera in front of my face and going, hey, let me show you how I do this to my kick drum. And, I'm like, nobody wants to hear me talk about that, so like.
We talked about this on our episode though. Give him a little bit of that, of like, about how like there is space for.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that we have seen kind of like different styles of content creation and things like that kind of come and go over the years. And we kind of talked about that too.
Yeah.
And right now there's this massive need for people who know what they're talking about to start talking.
Yeah.
And I think people are just hungry for the right types of thing. And right now people are also, general population of people who are interested in music production and audio and everything like that are generally educated enough to now start to sift through the good and bad information. And so I think there is a lot of opportunity. So if you know what you're doing and know what you're talking about, you should absolutely create content. Footnote: it takes a long time to make content, so it's tough. You gotta.
That is, and I think
invest.
that is the like frustrating part with content in general is like the potential upside is borderline infinite.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Borderline. Mm-hmm.
But the investment involved from a personal,
at least up front,
either financially or time wise, depending on how you want to go about it, whether it's hiring people or doing it all yourself, can be very like mentally taxing, especially if it's not something you want to do all the time and you don't like doing.
And then, like, God, for Jesse to say what you said, or like 5 seconds ago, where you're like, you got most of your clients from TikTok. Like, you now have been given the gift also to, like, God, the ability to say no to something that you don't want to do because you have so much of what you want.
Does it all the time.
And what's crazy is a lot of the TikTok clients are actually good.
Yeah,
like the music is really good.
They've gotten better. We talked about this before. I think up front they weren't very good. I think up front whenever you first started
now, though,
doing
like TikTok's been around long enough that everyone's on it. So like the good artists are on there too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think when TikTok first came out, everyone was like, or all the good musicians were like, I'm not doing TikTok, or, had like a bad rap sort of.
And to the musicians thinking about making TikToks, I'm sure there's plenty of musicians that are watching as well. The number one rule, and this is the DIY part of me coming out, is you have to play where people are. And that is the only thing that matters. If you go to a club, it's a 500 capacity club and you're a brand new band, it's an empty room that you're going to play in front of. Great club, could be legendary. Doesn't matter. No one's there. You got to go to where people are and play there. And for a lot of times, that's going to the house party.
And the 50 cap.
In the 50 cap room. Or the open mic at the coffee shop or whatever it is. You just have to be in front of people because if no one is there, no one will hear it.
For sure.
Yeah.
No,
Which
I love
means
that.
content.
Yep. I love that. All right. Here's another one I think is really interesting, especially since this was your first experience with it. Atmos and immersive audio. Overrated, underrated, properly rated.
Oh, man. I'm going to say underrated. And here's kind of my reasoning why. A lot of artists who are not putting their stuff out in the Dolby format don't understand that Apple is incentivizing the payouts for those. And Apple is also giving you preferential playlist placement. But in addition to that, when you sit down and listen, if you have an Apple device, you have the technology. Like they're I don't want to say they're forcing on it, but Apple has embraced the technology and they're handing it
for sure.
They are handing it to you in every part of their product. All car manufacturers from last year forward are including it in their sound systems in their cars. You're basically being handed the technology wherever you are. The average everyday public doesn't really know that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
But like people who listen to audio, you sit down and you listen to your song in that format and like it is incredible what it does to the energy of the song. It's hard to describe unless you've experienced in person. So
I would say properly rated personally. I think for a while, up front, they were hyping it up too much because people hadn't gotten to the point of mixing in it well yet.
Yeah. That's another topic.
Yeah. I feel like it was overrated up front. I think it's gone through the waves of being overrated and then it was underrated when people actually figured it out and you have like some really cool artists doing really cool things with it. Yeah. Shout out that Clara record that came out like last year that did immersive audio. It was super sick. And now I think the major labels have figured it out and because Apple's incentivizing it, I think we're back into properly rated, which is basically it's an inevitability of like it's going to be a standard for a certain caliber of artist money-wise. And that will slowly start to come down the ladder, I think.
What are okay, let me just pose this question. Do you think that since Apple adopted it and integrated it into all their products, you think that at some point they're just going to like drop it? No.
No.
They're not just going to delete it.
They're not good at that.
They're not just going to delete it from their products. They are all in. Apple is all in. And that's,
so, okay, you too.
I would say maybe still underrated because I talk with a lot of artists that still don't even know what
it is.
Well, I always say like as soon as once Spotify integrates it, it's going to be it's going to be.
That'll be the one that kickstarts it into because they're also going to give preferential playlist treatment and all that kind of stuff as well, What are your thoughts?
Okay.
As somebody who's experienced it today.
Sure. Okay. Currently overrated, and I hope I eat my words.
Yep.
And the potential for underrated in the future. Here's what I need to see happen in order for me to call it underrated.
Yeah.
I need to see mass consumer adoption because that's the biggest hurdle that we've always had with every immersive audio.
Yeah.
Like if anybody is old enough to remember quadraphonic, I can't believe that I can even say quadraphonic.
Yeah.
But that was 4 channels.
Yeah.
2 front, 2 back. There you go. You had quadraphonic recording consoles. You had quadraphonic record players. And like that was a thing. Quincy Jones endorsed it.
Yeah.
Like a few records came out on it. It flopped. And the reason why is because in the beginning we had mono and it was one speaker and music came out of it. And oh my God, it's amazing. Isn't Edison a genius? And then it was stereo. Oh my God, we have left and right and it's all coming in the same box, or we could spread out our speakers. We've got the spatial awareness. I like this a lot. It makes sense for us. Stereo. We agreed.
Yeah.
But we have not been able to mass consumer adopt the immersive audio experience of 4, 5, 8, 12 speakers, whatever it is.
9 and then 9.
And then 9. Yeah. And it's like even the 5.1 surround sound DVD audio.
Yeah.
That had a big run in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it did.
I got certified by like I forget what it is. It's like the ATS, the Acoustic Society or whatever, certified of mixing in 5.1.
Yeah.
No, I never did anything with it. There were like DVD audio of like Queen and like David Bowie and all these really great records, but the only guys that ended up purchasing or utilizing those forms of media were dudes that have man caves and home theater systems, and they listened to it on their tiny little Bose speakers. And it was ultimately not something that they could consume on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So here's what I think would need to happen. Dolby Atmos needs to have headphones that will come out, and I'm not sure how they're going to make that happen. That's not my job, but hopefully they figure
Apple already
something out.
has that.
Dolby Atmos and headphone.
Which they have.
We will need to see mass consumer adoption of that format.
So the perk is, I will say this. What's the number 1 selling headphone right now?
I don't know, probably Beats.
AirPods Pro 2.
Okay.
And you have Dolby Atmos in those headphones.
Okay.
The only thing is the car situation, though. It's going to take 50 or 60 years or however long for everyone to have.
That's going to be the thing that creates mass adoption is the car aspect. Because a lot of people listen. You may listen while you're in your headphones and it might be really cool.
Sure.
And then you take them out and you plug them in your car and you're not doing that anymore.
Right.
When it can be a thing that you constantly have the ability to do,
right,
then I think we'll have mass adoption.
But like, I'm not going to go buy a 2026 car.
Yes.
Just for the Atmos.
So you have to get the years down to where people are buying used cars with those in it.
So it'll take time. Yeah. But ultimately, if we get that mass consumer adoption, then
because I think the experience is amazing. I mean, you did listen to it today. It's
the experience
crazy.
is undeniable.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think live records should utilize it. Like,
that would be.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. On bluegrass is
bluegrass, folk, Americana.
You can do
live albums.
My mind immediately just thinks with like just the space that exists in the mixes because of the Atmos. Like there's so much more dynamics available.
Yeah,
which is huge. And so a lot of the thing of like modern music is overcompressed and loudness wars and all that.
Mixes that.
It's minus 18 LUFS is the max you could send to Apple.
And
it still sounds, quote, loud.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's part of their standards is you can't it can't be over minus 18.
Well, I was going to say just the amount of dynamic range that I heard just in Rocket Man was like, even though that snare was still that 70s punching a pillow sound, it was still
is there.
Well, the thing about our experience with all of it is every label project we work on is a required deliverable or you're not finished with the product. Every single one of
that's why we
small labels, mid labels, big labels, all of them have Dolby on the deliverable sheets now.
Interesting.
And that's why I'm saying that's why for me it's properly rated because the labels have started to make it a deliverable. Apple's incentivizing it and implementing it into all of their listening devices.
Well,
I think the cars is the last thing.
Yeah. And my canary in the coal mine, although that's
yeah.
usually a different type of thing.
Sure.
Is the second I
Wow.
hear like my sister-in-law
Talk about it?
talk
Yeah.
about
I
how
agree.
the music sounds really good in this car or on these headphones, that's when I will know
Oh yeah,
it is a definitive thing and there is no turning back.
I got
Agreed.
it. I got you.
Until then, I'm like skeptical because I've just seen it come and go. But with what you guys are saying, it sounds
Yeah.
very promising.
Yeah, it's super
hope
promising.
I hope it succeeds.
I think they're going to lose money on it for a really long time
Yeah.
until they don't.
Yeah.
Basically, unfortunately, it's an unfortunate fact, but I think they're willing to
But
eat
the
that.
technology is force feeding it to you. Whether you can have
Mhm.
Dolby on all of your Apple products and not have it turned on and not even know the difference.
Yeah,
But they're force feeding you the technology, whether you know it or not. So.
Yeah.
How long do you think stereo mixes will last? Because like if cars are going to be stereo for the next 50, 60 years till it catches up,
it'll probably.
do you think stereo mixes will eventually just go away?
I don't know.
No, because I think it's gonna take a really long time for stereo. Like you're not gonna have Atmos in like. I don't think you're
Grocery store or
in
whatever.
grocery
Yeah,
stores
yeah.
and like
but it
places
folds
like
down
that.
to stereo. Like
No,
it
yeah,
automatically
it
folds
automatically
down to
folds
stereo.
down to the stereo mix. That is the cool part.
That's the,
So
I don't
yeah.
know. You can because you submit the Dolby files, and if you don't have Dolby turned on your devices, it still plays in stereo. Like
because it's the same mix.
So on Apple, does it switch to the stereo mix or does it just fold down the stereo mix or the Atmos mix?
It can do.
I've been
either or.
wondering that.
yeah, either any of those options.
How
Yes.
many speakers do you need for it?
Well, with the AirPods, it's a binaural
Yeah.
Right.
thing.
But
Yeah.
like I'm talking about like in a studio.
Like,
Like how many speakers is that in there?
7.1. We're 7.1.4 here,
7.1,
which is kind of the
That's
So
basic
standard.
recommended.
7.1 with the sub and then 4 up top.
At the top, yeah.
You can do 7.2, 9.2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
With the Gentle X especially.
So can my wife hear me in that room?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I need to buy 12 speakers. That's the only downside is like,
She's
God, that's
not-
expensive.
You don't
Yeah,
want to see
yeah.
her face right now. You
Yeah,
don't wanna
she
see her
went-
face right now.
We just had our anniversary.
Yeah.
I think it might be the right time
Anniversary
to ask, guys.
gift. Yeah.
Anniversary gift to me.
I think she said she was going to an attorney.
Yeah. We got two more. I got two
All right.
more. I think these are really good. We mentioned it a little bit before, but I think underrated, overrated. Hiring out parts of your process. So that could be-
What parts?
So that could it could be anything.
Mm.
Hiring out, underrated, overrated, hiring out parts of your process. So that could be tracking, that could be editing, that could be mastering, that could be mixing, that could be whatever.
Oh man, I think this is going to just be dependent, like person to person, of course. For me, my favorite way to work is I love to, like, if I'm working with an artist,
Sure.
I love to produce, engineer, and then have someone act like my tape operator. That's my absolute favorite way to do it. And I would not want to hire out for anything other than someone to run the session.
Well, I think that's still hiring out. So yeah.
So in that case, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's underrated. I love it.
Underrated, yeah.
Yeah.
I view it as underrated. I think people wait too long to start hiring stuff out.
I will agree with that.
I think people wait too long to hire stuff out because they think they need to have their hand on every single individual part of the process.
I love having my hands on so many parts of the process, but I agree.
Yeah, it's great. But at the moment, the day that it happened for me was the day I hired a vocal editor, and I sent him the vocal, like an entire album's worth of vocals, and went to sleep. And then went throughout my day. At the end of the week, all the vocals were edited, and I was able to do so many more things and finish other projects in the main time while that was also getting done.
Yeah, that's a very useful thing.
It's
for the
crazy underrated.
Yeah, for the tedious stuff. Oh my God, yeah.
And like drum edits, like I started hiring out drum edits, like timing edits and stuff, especially to people who like, and like when I do heavy music, I send my drums and my guitars to the same guy. So he'll do like DI guitar edits and then reamps for me.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like I track it, I get it good, I get a bass tone for him on a plugin and say like, here's kind of what we're going for. Send it to him. He gets all that done, and I come back, and he sends me a Pro Tools session with everything in it. So if I need to make any edits, all the edits are still there, so I can. Yeah, dude, it is.
I need to do that more.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
because I don't do that much at all.
It's so fun.
No, it's an
Brad?
it's an incredibly underrated thing that I mean, I'll just give you my experience. I mean, I worked my face off for a lot of years trying to do everything. Run the studio, book the studio, engineer, edit, mix, master. Like I was trying to do all of it. And thankfully I had business coming in, super thankful that I had business. But it came to a point to where, I mean, I'm here like 70 hours.
Yeah.
And like not, and then my wife's like, are you alive? Where are you? So to me, there's a mindset switch that has to happen, number one. And it really has a lot to do with being able to find someone like you guys that you trust to work on a certain aspect of the project. So you know that the product you're going to get back is going to be up to the standards that you would have done yourself.
Yeah.
But the other part of it for me was also a financial thing. It was like, okay, I budgeted a certain amount of dollars for this song or this project or whatever. I don't want to give those away. I don't want to give those dollars away to somebody else. I want to keep all those dollars, So, but I think the workload comes to a point to where it almost forces you to have to consider doing some of those things. But then the hard part is like, do I have a guy that or a girl that can do the thing that I need? And I know that when I get it back, I'm not going to have to redo it all. Like I know that I can trust them. And that's just a thing of like meeting people, talking to people, getting referrals from other people because it's available. There's really, really good people out there who tune vocals really well. They edit drums really well. Sometimes take away your don't mix a song. Send it to a really great mix engineer and let them mix it.
We started doing co-mix. We did a co-mix for a record recently, and that was really interesting. Where I did the production half, and he did the mastering half, and I pre-mixed the production in a Pro Tools session with his template, and then he took it over and did the final mix and revisions and mastering. And that was a really cool process. It actually sped up the process significantly. We did it in one revision round.
That's interesting.
We had we both had our hand in the kind of the project as it goes along, so we were familiar with
what it was going for and intent and all that.
Yeah, so
okay.
But
cool. I was in a little more communication with them because I did all the tracking and he did a lot of the pre-production. So it was really, so we like handed off to each other at different stages. It was really cool.
Yeah, and I also feel like that is also kind of a unique situation with you guys.
It is.
Too.
It is. It's a little different
because you're like, oh man, you guys have like worked together.
For a while,
long time, and
a couple years at this point.
At the same time, I know exactly what you're talking about too, because I'm actually like thinking about like, God, I should probably hire a video editor for like the content stuff because oh my God. Yeah. Like just being able to free yourself up for other things.
It is the actual only way to buy back time.
Yeah.
Like time is a finite resource, and the only way to get more of it is to pay other people to do the things that you don't need to be doing so that you can do more important stuff simultaneously.
So you budget that into your project.
Yeah.
Yep. So you budget it into your project.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Jesse started hiring out a guy that I recommended too.
Yeah, I was going to say underrated. Because I'm kind of like you. Like I like doing everything. Like I enjoy sitting there and coming up with a guitar part and tracking the guitar part and editing the vocal and doing all the stuff. But I've started hiring out people for like specific instruments or specific things. And I feel way more confident now too, because like no matter what the artist wants to do, I know like no matter what, I can either do it myself or I can hire someone that can crush it, if that makes sense.
It's also an argument against generative AI.
Yeah.
Of like,
that's true.
Hire somebody, a real player to do it, because you can attempt to generate a dobro part.
But it's not going to be as good.
But it's not going to be as good as Adam Bachman just absolutely shredding a dobro with feeling over a song.
Shredding a dobro with feeling.
Dude,
album title for something. That's great.
Hiring out vocal tuning is great too.
Dude.
I hate all that.
That's
the one part that I don't like is like.
So I got lucky. I don't know if you've used Ryan before, but I've hired out Ryan, my vocal editor, and he will also track BGVs and harmonies if I need them to. So, which is huge for people like Brad who have these vocalists come in and they don't necessarily have time or they don't know how to do harmonies. You can send your vocal to him with the lyric sheet and then he'll tune the main vocal and then track his own harmonies and BGVs, oohs and ahs and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
And then time align them and tune them all and send them back, and it's just freaking money, dude.
Yeah. I'm also just grateful for like vocals that I exist in genres that don't typically do that and kind of lean into the slightly
raw
pitchy,
stuff, yeah,
raw
which is
vocal
great.
type
That's
of
great
thing.
too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It definitely depends on the genre. And
the artist
style of artist. And
Yeah,
everything.
like Sherlock, you
sure.
said, like he just leans into doing a lot of like
Yeah, he
auto
just
tune stuff.
tracks with auto tuning. That's just what it is, kind of.
Yeah.
That sounded cool though. Like the track that we were listening
Yeah,
to,
'cause he
with how
leans
it, like,
into it.
flutters at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's stylistic. Like,
Yeah.
I like that.
So
And in the country world, it's like unique, sort of. But like you were saying, though, like not wanting to pay out of your profit to hire people is definitely a thing that.
it's hard to get to that point. And it's like, I'll be completely candid. Like when I hired Ian Guthrie was the first guy that I like quote hired
One of our engineers.
to work here at the studio. And I finally just, I met with him several times and we just kind of connected, and he was of like-mindedness, the way that we run the studio and the way we run sessions and all those things. It's incredibly difficult to find someone that would run a session like you would want the session run, but I'm incredibly thankful that I ran into him and we were able to work something out so that he could come in and engineer, like he doesn't have any kids right now, so he could engineer some weekend stuff and I could go home when I had kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to be here, but you just have to get to a point where you find someone that you trust and that you also have to take the thing out of your mind where like you have to give a little bit of control away
Yeah.
in order to like make it happen, so, but
Good
that's just my experience.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. All right.
sure.
Last one, overrated, underrated. We'll do air quotes rules in music and audio production.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I think like I feel like we could do
Overrated,
a 1, 2,
underrated.
3, like a rock, paper, scissors. All right. So what is it? Overrated is up.
Overrated, underrated, properly rated.
Okay, so overrated, underrated, properly rated. So
Yeah.
rules in the studio. All right,
Rules in
let's
the
do it.
studio.
Ready?
Ready? One,
2,
2, 3.
3.
Underrated. I have it underrated.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
wait, okay, define
Well,
rules.
Okay.
Are you talking about random YouTube video rules?
No,
or are you
no,
talking
no.
about like
I'm saying
Yeah, what kind of rule are we talking? Like
rules.
No guns in the studio, like because that's underrated.
No, the rules of audio and mixing. I
Oh, okay.
think in order to break the rules, you need to first know the rules intently and deeply. And a lot of people get to the breaking part way too early.
maybe I can kind of get on board with that.
and like
That
contemporary
challenges me.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, wait a second.
contemporary music though, like your average listener expects a certain thing. So like if you're too left field from that,
Sure.
I feel like that could hurt. Also, I feel like having some constraints, at least for me, makes me more creative. Because you're not
That's
like
true.
you're not like if you're just looking at a blank canvas, you're like, where do I start with this? But if you have some guidelines, you can
Yeah.
get to the creative
Well,
stuff
I mean,
quicker. I feel like so. I
think-
don't know.
I think I agree with you to an extent in the fact that like if you plug a condenser mic into the pre, you have to turn on the phantom power or the mic won't work.
Sure.
Or if
So
you-
that's
or if
a
you-
rule.
Or if you turn the phantom power onto a ribbon mic,
you
you're
can
going to blow the freaking mic.
So yeah,
Like there's stuff like
sure.
that
Yeah.
like that's a rule you kind of need to know. But also
Yeah.
there's the rule of like acoustics and sound and like how sound works, and there's stuff like that
Yeah.
like I think there are base level rules that people get like, I don't need the rules, I'm just gonna figure it out. I think actually they would save themselves a lot of headache and time by going through and learning a lot of like the basic rules first.
You're talking like intro to audio or intro to physics.
Yeah, but
I
a
think
lot
it's
of people just throw that crap out the window, dude.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
get-
YouTube people just throw the crap out the window.
Yeah, I mean, well, like so as an audio instructor, okay, I think it's important. It's kind of like room treatment, like you said earlier, where it's like it's important to understand kind of the fundamentals and the basics.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then just be cool, man.
I
Like,
think music theory is the exact same way.
I think you're right.
I think music theory is a very good example, in my
Mhm.
opinion, of this working well, which is you understand music theory so well that you can break the rules and try different things and do different things. You do not have to abide by the music theory, but you also understand how it works. And it gives you the freedom to try new things and do other things outside of that.
Yeah, I agree with that metaphor. I think that it is important to understand what's going on. And so you're not just flying blind because, I got to be honest, the first time that I used 2 microphones on one guitar cabinet, phase nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I created some crazy sounds and not in a good way, but in a way that I was like, why do I feel queasy when I hear this? Like it was just like hollow, but at the same time I was like, did I find the brown note? Like, so like it's important to understand things.
Yeah.
But then again, and I say this all the time too, it's really important to also put down the tape measure. And ultimately, the golden rule in audio is that if it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah.
And so if your overheads are not at the perfect 120 degree angle and with the 17 centimeter spacing for ORTF, like maybe it was just shy of that, and it's okay.
But also at the same time, if your kick is lacking some frequencies when your full mix is on, then you may need to shift your overhead slightly because it's causing a phase problem that's negating your low end.
And to think, and use your ears, listen, and be reactive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But knowing the rules and how to shift some of that stuff is kind of more what I
One of my favorite memes is, you probably know what I'm talking about, where
the bell curve.
The beginner engineer's like, I'm gonna put a microphone in front of it and it's gonna sound good.
Yeah.
And then the intermediate's like, I'm gonna tape measure this and make sure it's perfect. And then the advanced engineer's like, I'm going to stick a microphone in front of this and it's going to sound good.
Yeah,
that's absolutely
it is very true.
That rings true with my experience.
Yeah, very
I know
true.
you said it was the last one, but I just want to throw this one out there because it's going to be so fast.
Okay.
All right, overrated, underrated, gold mic cables.
Underrated?
Overrated.
Or overrated. Definitely overrated.
Oh my God, don't get me started.
Probably sounds the same as the Amazon one.
It sounds different, Jesse. If you use a certain type of copper made in the Amazon, it sounds
made in the Amazon.
It sounds different. The cable sounds different.
God, I always love that too. Like I've talked to somebody who brought their own mic cable to a session, and I was like, that's gonna go into a console that's got 8 miles worth of cabling in it, and none of that's gold.
Back to the people that don't make good music, worrying about what the mic.
Did you have something to say about the rules thing, Brad?
Not
we yapped a little bit over you on that one. I'm sorry.
No. I'm good. I think I said what I needed to say.
Okay,
but
sweet. Yeah, I just wanted to get you guys the hate engagement.
No, I feel that. No, run them numbers up, baby. Run the comments up. All right. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Andrew, if people want to find you, where should they go?
Andrew Chapman Creative on YouTube or on other social media. Type my name into the search bars. Something's going to come up.
Cool.
Probably.
Jesse, where do people find you if they want to see you?
At Jesse Shirts Music on Instagram or TikTok.
Brad, people want to find you, talk to you, book the studio, all that kind of stuff. Where do they need to go?
At Studio 101 Recording, all platforms. It's the same thing.
And Studio101recording.com for if you want to check us out. We're all on there. All of the engineers, you can see us and kind of what we do and see some of our portfolios and all that kind of stuff is very cool. And music by Drew for me, and At Home Studio Hangout for the podcast. Thanks for doing that. Go follow everybody. This is a really fun conversation, guys.
Yes.
I've been wanting to do this for a while. This little roundtable thing. Me and Brad kind of did it with another friend of ours, Jay, and it was really interesting. Yeah, but I wanted to give it a little more structure this time, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Hopefully we made everybody mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.